Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? My name is Francesco Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, is another movie review. I can't go to the theater and see any movies, and I already told you guys I would do this. If you have seen me play Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures, I have the entire game on YouTube, so if you want to rewatch me, I do some cool commentary and I have a lot of fun there. It's a great series. Please go check it out. But I told you guys I would be reviewing all 4 Indiana Jones films. We don't know what is happening with Indiana Jones 5. It's probably going to get delayed because of the stupid virus. But we'll have to see what happens with that, if it's even going to happen anymore. But what I have for you guys is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, or just Raiders of the Lost Ark if you're an OG. So I want to, before I get into the review, I just kind of want to tell you about my personal experience with this film and a few little fun facts. So my personal experience, of course this is rated PG, because when this movie came out in 1981, it's an old movie, there was no PG-13. It was G, PG, and R. There was no PG-13. So PG really was the PG-13, so to speak, you know. But realistically, now that this is a Disney-owned property, for a few years actually, along with Star Wars, I keep saying this. This is rated PG, but it's also, the Canadian rating is TV-14, and that's more like it. But if they were to re-release Raiders of the Lost Ark, it would easily be rated R. Because, you know, of course I'm talking about spoilers, it's been out since freaking 1981. A dude's head explodes, a dude gets shot in the face, and you see blood spurt. You see people get stabbed and punched. That's in every PG-13 film, but the amount of gore in this movie is really, really, kind of crazy, you know. And yeah, Back to the Future is PG, Star Wars is PG, but those are more tame. Yeah, they have the word shit in them, and they have a little bit of blood, but it's nothing like too crazy. This one doesn't have that much bad language, but it's the violence. I mean, it's bad. I mean, the only reason, fun fact number 1, the only reason this movie did not get rated R is actually because when Renee Belloc's face explodes in the end, when he looks in the Ark, his face literally goes like that. It just like literally effing explodes into like catnip. It's very gory for PG film, and the only reason why it's not rated R is because if you remember when the Ark comes out and there's a bunch of fire and all that, there's like a fire CGI thing in front of his face, and the MPAA at that time said, look, if you don't have this fire in front of Renee's face as his head explodes, it's going to get an R rating because of the spike in the head and the throat, getting shot in the face and blood coming out, and then a guy's head exploding. It's kind of and then a guy getting chopped up by a propeller, and he gets shot in the arm and blood splatters. So it's this is probably the most violent PG-rated movie I've ever seen. And like I said, if they were going to re-rate it under Disney, it would definitely be rated R. But I just think it's kind of funny that they didn't just go for an R rating because of some fire. But that's kind of cool. So my personal experience was, I watched this when I was a little kid. I'm not saying my parents are bad, but I probably shouldn't have, because it's pretty effing gross. You know, I just rewatched it and I was like, wow, this is pretty gory. I'm not, you know, some guy that freaks out over gore. I can handle gore in movies for the most part. This one's pretty tame. But so for PG, it's like, wow, you know, this is in your face. And oh my god, that frickin' ghost, man. When the spirit of God comes out of the covenant, and it's like this pretty ghost almost, and then it turns into like some horrific ghost, I poo my pants every time. I didn't poo my pants this time, but when I was a kid, that scared the crap out of me, man. Hearing that dun 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 dun, that, you know, that music, oh man, it's all freaking over, man. My pants are just considered pooped. It's bad. So that's my personal experience. I was probably too young to be watching it, as was too young to be watching Star Wars, but my dad was like, you're watching Star Wars! And I didn't understand it because I was a kid, you know, I just watched colors and all that crap. So upon watching it as a teenager and now as an adult, it is still violent, and it is still really good. Fun fact number 2 is the scene where Indiana Jones, you probably know this, but Indiana Jones is in Cairo, and he's fighting that Muslim or whatever with the sword, and he's flipping the sword around like a badass, you know, he's like, good doing all this cool moves, and Indiana Jones just pops him. Harrison Ford actually had a cold, not corona, but he had a cold, and he didn't want to do some awesome fight scene. He didn't, you know, like, it was supposed to be this awesome choreographed scene like a Star Wars fight, you know, and, or a Marvel fight, and he just said, nah, F it. Just shoot him in the stomach and we're all good. Let's see, is there any other fun facts that I can remember? Of course, they renamed it to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Before it was just called Raiders. The guy, what's his name? The guy who, he's not on the back of the goddamn thing. That figures. But the guy who plays Dr. Octopus in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, he is Satipo, and he gets axed in the head, or spiked in the head. It's kind of funny. He's kind of annoying. as a character, for sure. He's like, whoa, you know, he kind of freaks out a lot. He's kind of just stupid. But he does die, so, I mean, that's bad, but funny. I don't know, it is what it is. It's Dr. Octopus. So, on to the actual review. Yes, this is an 80s movie, and a lot of 80s movies are considered classics. However, as a reviewer, I cannot look at a movie like Star Wars Episode 4, or even The Last Jedi, my personal favorite Star Wars film, or say Endgame, or Iron Man 1, or Blade 1, or Indiana Jones 1, and say, okay, yeah, this is a classic movie, and it's really good, but is it good because it's nostalgic? Is it good because it's an 80s film? Is it good because it's a classic? No. Is this movie actually bad? No. It's very well made, and I can understand the hype upon watching this for the first time, really, like, critiquing it. There are a few flaws, but overall, this is a great movie. I mean, really, it's a classic for sure. And I'm not just saying that because everyone thinks it really is a great film. And it laid the foundation for Temple, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and hopefully Indiana Jones 5. It's just a great movie. All the actors are great. Harrison Ford, of course, he was Han Solo in A New Hope, Episode 4, before this film. So we already knew him as, you know, Han Solo. So, oh, he's going to be an action hero now? You know, I don't know, but I really like the feel of these movies. It's like Nathan Drake, or Lara Croft, or, I don't know, Indiana Jones. There's just a lot of really, or Clutch Powers, you know, there's just a really cool amount of awesome archaeological action badass guys and girls in this world, and it's really cool to see. This was kind of the original. So yeah, actors are great. Karen Allen, she was sexy back in the day. I don't care what you say, I think she was hot. Nowadays, I don't even know if she's alive. I hope she's still alive. King of Crystal Skull, of course I can't say that, she's like a grandma. But in this movie, she was hot, my opinion. I think she was kind of like that idol, you know, that every dude in the world was like, wow, she's hot, and I can see it. But is she a good actor? It's not she just a pretty face. No, she's a good actor. There are a few lines where she's screaming, and she just kind of, the way her line delivery is a little weird at times. But really, the acting within this movie is good. There are no poor actors in this film. Satipo, he's annoying, but he's not bad. You know what I mean? He just bites his lip and screams for like 20 minutes, and then he kicks the dust. So, you know, it's not bad. It's just annoying. But every character in this movie is great. There's a lot of great, of course, John Williams making a damn good music score. Really, really good. Everything about this movie is just fantastic, really. There are a few hiccups. Like I said, the line delivery can be a little bit strange. I think when Satipo gets, you know, killed, that's like a wax dummy. And I know it's the 80s. They didn't have pristine CGI or really any CGI, really. They just kind of like colored crap in, basically. It doesn't look believable now. And you honestly can't look at me and be like, well, franchise fanatic, it probably looked great back in the day. Maybe, but I mean, unless you're an idiot, I mean, you can clearly tell it's wax, you know, and I know I'm not going to bust on this movie and be like, oh, it sucks, you know, wax figure, but it is unbelievable. It is there for like 2 shots, big deal. I'm not really saying this movie sucks because of it, you know. It's just like, it's kind of the equivalent of like the Last Jedi Praetorian Guard battle when everyone bitches and they're like, oh my god, the one Praetorian Guard blade disappears, this movie sucks, and I'm like, it doesn't bother me, and if it bothers you, it really shouldn't. It's just one scene, you know, not a big deal. Like in the Return of the Jedi, where Luke kicks that skiff guard and he completely misses. No one cared then. Or when Attack of the Clones, where Anakin gets his freaking hand stuck in his robe. And he goes like this. That wasn't planned. George kept it in, you know. Princess Leia in A New Hope, being British for half the goddamn thing. There are a lot of mistakes in Star Wars and Marvel with the CGI and this. Am I saying that a wax dummy of a dead guy ruins the film? No. But it does take you out of it just a second. Maybe they could have done something better. I don't know. Again, it was the 80s, so I don't know how they did it. Or maybe everyone didn't believe in the 80s. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe everyone was stupid. But I don't know. Maybe it's just, you know, could have been better. I'm just reaching for stars here. You know, I mean, it's not terrible. So line delivery, Satipo, he's just kind of annoying. And that's really it. I mean, like I said, the gore effects are fantastic. When the guy's face is melting, I mean, holy crap, man. I, like, peed my pants during that scene. That whole scene is just traumatic for me. But it's really cool, and I like how they did that. They kind of sped up a melting face. That looks believable. Renee Belloc exploding into cat food, that looks believable. But honestly, this still is a great film. With its very, very, very minimal flaws. The story's great. The action is really great. You know, one of the best things I can say about this movie, and this whole, the first 3 movies at least, is that this was really before modern CGI was taking effect, you know. I think the first real movie to use, like, great CGI or, like, modernize it was Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And that actually kind of does hold up. But yeah, I'd say what you want. George Lucas did kind of puke out CGI for the prequel trilogy. It doesn't look that bad. It's just kind of, you didn't make any clone trooper armor. That's a bit lazy, you know. And it is. It's not bad, but it is lazy. This movie, because there's no modern CGI, they're actually in the desert. And they actually are on horses. And there is a car chase. And people are using fake blood. And they're being creative with how people die. And, you know, it's just really well done. You know, all the stunts and everything. It's a great movie for that reason. Of course, it's got some iconic moments. But again, being an iconic movie doesn't make it a great movie. But thankfully, this is a great movie. It holds up. The actors are great. The line delivery can be a little bit strange at times, and the Satipo wax thing, so a few of the effects can be a little bit dated. But other than that, upon viewing this in 1981, I mean, yeah, this is a friggin' cult phenomenon, man. I mean, I can see how this thing got, you know, a bunch more sequels and really cult status, and I can see why Disney bought it, because this is a great movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark laid the foundation for the rest of this awesome franchise. It's not perfect, but it's very close to being perfect for an older movie. It really does hold up, and I can't really think of many more negatives. I mean, it's funny. Some of the comedy is a little bit forced, maybe, but other than that, I do think that it is a very well-made movie. So I'm going to give Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, or just Raiders of the Lost Ark, let's see, I'll give it an A. How about that? Just shy of an A+. Just shy of perfection in my eyes. There's a few things that are a little bit different, but to say that this movie is bad is not even close to being true in my opinion. This is a phenomenal movie, and it really does hold up. Funny, got great action scenes. Again, there are a few hiccups along the way, but, you know, not many movies get an A+ from the 80s for me because of the restrictions and, you know, but again, you have to watch these as if you're watching it in the 80s, you know. You can't look at a movie from the 1940s and be like, oh, it looks like crap, you know what I mean? It's because it was in the 40s, you know what I mean? So, again, it's kind of hard to review movies like these because they are old and I can't say it's bad, but you get my drift. I'm going to give it an A. I love this movie. I can't wait to watch Temple of Doom. I should be watching it. By the time this goes live, I'll probably have all 4 of them watched, but my next one will be Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I have some more fun facts about that, and of course, I also have my review coming up shortly. So please tell me in the comments. You can spoil it. The spoiler ban is up by like 40 years almost, whatever. So please, not 40, but you know what I mean. Please, please, please tell me if you liked Raiders of the Lost Ark, and what is your favorite Indiana Jones movie out of the first 4? I'd love to know. Thank you guys. I can't wait to review and watch Temple of Doom and do all that kind of cool stuff. And Last Crusade, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I really am going to have fun watching it because this is a great movie. I can't wait to watch the rest and review it for you guys. Thank you guys very much. Make sure to stay healthy and safe. Wash your hands. And we'll see you guys in the next video.